Hello everyone and welcome to the course. I'm very much excited to have you learn with me in this course on Adobe Illustrator. Now in this lecture, we're going to be learning about the interface and the tools of Adobe Illustrator. We are simply going to be brushing our knowledge because this is not a beginner course. Okay, this is not a beginner course, so we are not going to be learning very basic things. This course is meant for intermediate and advanced learners, and it's more of a build up to the beginner course we have on Adobe Illustrator. If you're coming from that course, then you're going to find most of the things we'll be covering in this lecture familiar, okay, because we covered them in the beginner course. So it's basically the interface and the tools of Adobe Illustrator. If you're not coming from that course, it's still fine. You can continue with the course as far as you have some basic knowledge of Adobe Illustrator, okay? If not, I will advise you to go and take that course. That's the one for the very basic learners, okay? That's people who are very new to Adobe Illustrator, okay? So I'm going to kind of assume that all of us taking this course have kind of a beginner knowledge of Adobe Illustrator, kind of a basic, very basic knowledge of Adobe Illustrator, okay? So in order to start now, I'm going to create a new document like usual, okay? Now, whenever you open Adobe Illustrator, this is the first interface you see, okay? With here having some presets which you can choose from, with here having you being able to create a new document, open an existing document, and then you seeing your previous works here, okay? Your previous works here. So what am I going to do now? I'm just going to, let's say, create a new document, okay? And then I'm just going to choose this common. I'm going to choose this one, this common, okay? Now the size is 1366 pixels by 768 pixels, okay? And then the color mode is RGB. Okay, we have RGB, we have CMYK. The color mode is RGB, and then I'm just going to click create, and this is now our file. Okay, this is the artboard, and then this is the artboard, of course, created in the size we've selected. Now I'm just going to, of course, brush through the whole thing because I'm assuming you have a beginner knowledge of what Adobe Illustrator is, okay, of Adobe Illustrator. So of course, these are the file. This is the file where you create a new document or you open an existing document, you save as, you place. That's basically importing. Then you export and do a whole lot of things. We have edit, we have objects. Okay, these are just the menus. Okay, so it is the menu bar, and then we have here, which is the Windows menu. Now in the Windows menu, of course, we know that the Windows menu takes care of the panels of the interface, okay, and then the workspace of the interface. So we can kind of activate panels here. We can kind of, that's panels being features, okay, we can kind of activate them and deactivate them, and we can kind of choose from workspaces, okay. So when we come to workspace, for example, we have the essential, and it's going to just edit the workspace to the essential, okay. Then we have the automation, we have the layout, we have the painting, for example. Now this is what we get with the painting. Okay, it activates the brushes, the stroke, the symbol, and many other panels, the color panel, the color guide tool, and so on and so forth. And then we have the properties here. We have properties here, okay? And we also have a properties panel. We also have a properties panel. For example, if we come on Windows and we choose workspace and then Essentials Classic, we're going to see the properties panel here, okay? Your Essentials Classic would probably have libraries here. Okay, so in order to make mine just like yours, I can just come in Windows and reset Essentials Classic. So it's going to take it to the initial way it was. What I did was I had to just remove these libraries, and then I brought layers to this point, okay, to this place, okay, so that I have layers here instead of libraries. So you have to note that whatever you create or you select rather on your workspace, you're going to have properties relating to what you've selected. If we don't have any selection, we're going to have properties related to our artboard, okay, our artboard. Now, so now we have no selection. There's the document units, which are in pixels, okay, we can have them in points, in pixels, in inches, in feet, and so on and so forth. Then we have the number of artboards, which is 1. We can have multiple artboards. We can edit the artboard, okay, and it's going to select the artboard tool here, which we can use to move, to resize our artboard, to kind of duplicate. We can just hold Alt and kind of duplicate the artboard to have a copy, okay, so that when we now come, we see that we have 2 artboards here, okay. So we have the number of artboards. We can select artboard 1, we can select artboard 2 here, okay, and then we can edit them, okay, and we can kind of navigate between them using these icons here, these buttons here. Now, of course, we have the rulers and grids, we have the guides, the snap options, and so on and so forth. I'm assuming you, in one time or the other, have come in contact with these options. So going through them again and again and again will not them, we have them opened like this. Okay, we have the color, then the color guide, we have the swatches, we have the brushes, the symbols, we have the stroke, we have the gradient, the transparency, then we have the appearance panel, like the graphics styles, then we have other ones like the asset export, the artboards, okay, then we have this other one which says comments, okay, but to me, I'm not going to be using it kind of, so it's kind of just unuseful for me. Yeah, these are some of the panels we'll be working with, and of course we're going to be working with a lot of other panels in the future. Okay, so let's come to tools. On the tools, by your left hand side, of course, we have the tools in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so there are a lot of tools in Adobe Illustrator, and we looked at a lot of them in the beginner course. Okay, and of course if you have some sort of experience with Adobe Illustrator, you definitely have used a number of tools, a lot of tools. Okay, you definitely have used tools, so I'm very sure you know what tools are. Tools are used to do things. Okay, so like this, the selection tool, we use it to select our objects, okay, and kind of move them around in the work area. Okay, so we can move them around in the work area. We have the direct selection tool, which is used to select points. So you can select the point and you can move the point. Okay, you can use the edge curve tool here or icon here, and just kind of edit the angle or the curveness of the angle. Okay, you can use this tool to select the anchor point. Now, when you come here to this point, you see edit toolbar. Okay, so now we have here opened, and we can see all our toolbars here. Now all of them are activated. That's why you see them in this kind of gray faded out style. Okay, so all of them are activated. Why is that? Because we are in the advanced toolbar setting. Okay, so this is the advanced toolbar setting where all the toolbars are activated. When you come to basic, we just have a few of them, so you can see some of them are activated, some of them are not activated. Okay, so that's basic and advanced toolbars. And we can also kind of create our toolbars. Okay, so we can have a new toolbar, then we can call it my toolbar, then okay, now we then have our toolbar here, our new toolbar here. Now we can now add tools to our toolbar. Let's assume we are drawing, and then we have specific tools which we want to use, okay, which we want to use. So let's say we have this guy, we just drag it here, okay. You can see that now it's now grayed out. We have this guy, which is a direct selection tool, to drag it there, or we can kind of just drag it on here in order to kind of create this kind of drop down menu where you can select between the two of them, okay. So that's one thing we can do. So we have other tools here which we can add to this toolbar, okay. We also have this icon here where we can choose basic, advanced, new toolbar, and so on and so forth, and then manage toolbars, right? But what I'm interested in doing is adding more tools to my toolbar, my new toolbar. So I'm just going to add this guy here, add this guy here, maybe add this. I'm just doing this to demonstrate for you. So you can add more tools to my toolbar, okay. And then of course we have them in categories. We have the selection tools, okay. And then we have the draw tools, we have the type tools, we have the paint tools, we have the modify tools, we have the navigate tools, okay. So these tools are the navigate tools will help you navigate around your workspace, and then the type tool will help you in creating types, okay. That's your fonting and your styling and your typing, okay. And then we have the paint tools which will help you in painting, and then we have the modify tools which will basically modify the shape, okay. We have the selection tool which will of course select colors, select objects, and then we have the draw tools which will draw out shapes, right, and objects. Now here is now our new toolbar. So let us come here, Windows, and then come to toolbars. Now let's click on advanced. Now when we click on advanced, we see that this guy is now out. We've deactivated the advanced. Now we can just take this guy, which is our new toolbar, and then dock it here. And now we have our toolbar, our custom toolbar, right? So we can just use our custom toolbar to kind of create our drawings or whatever we want to create, to use it in creating what we want to create, okay. And then we have this one for the artboard, we have this one for the start tool, we have this guy, we have delete points and so on and so forth. That's with our custom toolbar. So we can just drag it out and maybe delete it, come to file, toolbars, and then advanced. And we can also come and manage our toolbars, okay. We can delete our toolbars, we can select the toolbar here, the custom ones, delete, we can select them and delete, we can add new toolbars, we can add, keep adding, we can delete, okay. We can okay, which will save our changes, then we can cancel, okay. So that's it about managing our toolbars and creating new toolbars. Now let's just have a roundup of our tools here, okay. We have the selection tool, we have the direct selection tool, you know what they do. We have the group selection tool, we select the groups. We have this guy, which is the magic wand tool. It's also a selection tool. It selects objects with similar colors.